Hello, my friends, and happy Tuesday. I am so excited to be here talking to you about egg quality and everything that has to do with your eggs. Not the kind we eat, the kind that we make babies with. So, I am starting today something which I hope to be doing weekly, which I have deemed Chat with Karen. And in it, I will be doing some kind of training as well as opening up the floor to any questions that you may have. For those of you who saw my stories yesterday, I asked a question in my stories and got a couple of questions responding back to what I was saying. And I will definitely touch upon those in a moment. But I wanted to go through a couple of different tiers when we're talking about eggs and egg quality. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was egg quality. First and foremost, egg quality. And that is just what we consider a retrieved egg quality to be. Egg grading and egg testing. Okay, so we're going to talk about those three things today, and then I'm going to open up the floor to answer any questions that you have. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is egg quality. I see a lot of posts everywhere saying this is how many eggs were retrieved, this is how many were fertilized, and this is how many were PGS or PGD normal. Okay. This is the first thing that I want to tell you, and I might be a little controversial here saying it, but I'm going to say it because it's the truth, and don't believe it because I'm saying it, but ask your doctor about it. Just because an egg looks a certain way doesn't mean that it is not going to turn into a normal child. Okay? So, for instance, I had grade A, beautiful embryos, 3 of them in fact, that were put inside during one of our transfers in our years of doing it. And literally the doctor was sitting there talking to me about, you're gonna have to reduce. They look so beautiful, all 3 of them are gonna implant and you're gonna have to reduce. Well, guess what, guys? It was a miscarriage. And I mean probably even an early miscarriage, okay? Number 2, I have other eggs that were deemed and 2 of those children are mine now. So do not get so caught up in the grading of the egg quality, but we'll talk about that in a second. Egg quality, when we talk about that, and when people are trying to strive towards egg quality, they are talking about the actual quality of the eggs that are retrieved. And once you're at a retrieval, there is very little that you can do to improve that egg quality. But the one thing you can always keep in mind is that egg quality, that egg is going to start to develop 90 days before that retrieval. So always keep that in mind when it comes to egg quality, okay? So everybody's so crazy about egg quality, but again, there's only so much that science knows about the egg quality, okay? And don't get into this limiting belief of your age and your eggs, because I've seen very young women who've had not such good quality eggs and older women who've had great quality eggs. Case in point, me. Even though it wasn't an IVF cycle, I have a beautiful, healthy child from a 42-year-old egg. So don't let that be a limiting belief. So egg quality of the eggs that are being retrieved, okay? They are decided 90 days before. Egg grading, which we talked about a little bit, is when an embryologist will actually come in, look at your eggs, and grade them if you are not doing any kind of testing and grade them on a different kind of scale. Again, take it with a grain of salt what the grading is if you're doing a fresh cycle. Okay? So that is the grading. Then there's something called egg testing, which has become a huge, huge thing these days. And, to be honest, again, me being an OG infertility survivor, having started my journey in 2006, you only had PGD back then. And you didn't really do PGD unless there was an absolute reason to do it, such as a positive test result to a genetic issue. So, in my humble opinion, I feel as though too many women are being pushed into the egg testing for PGS these days. And I absolutely understand that you want to give yourself every single shot to have a baby. But I'm not sure if something is being lost in the translation with doctors, because just because your embryo comes back PGS normal, that does not give you any amount of edge, really, in terms of it implanting and becoming a healthy pregnancy. Okay? So that is only half the picture. In addition, just because it comes back normal doesn't mean that it is normal 100% or abnormal 100%. There are not enough cells that are able to be tested where you can test the whole embryo, okay? And there are so many other factors around whether or not this embryo is going to implant and become a child that need to be looked at. It's not just about the quality of the eggs. It's the whole puzzle. It's putting all the pieces together in the puzzle, right? So I hope that this was helpful in terms of talking about, the different categories that we can talk about with the eggs. There's the quality, there's the grading, and then there's the testing results, right? There's another subcategory here that we can talk about, and that is, the number, the retrieval numbers, right? And again, I would highly encourage you not to get so wrapped up in what other people are doing. And going through infertility treatments can be very triggering. And if you are on your feed constantly having numbers flashed at you that are making you feel less than or nervous or stressed, I highly encourage you to unfollow whoever these people are, because they have every right in the world to be sharing what their numbers are. But if it's going to make you feel anxious and stressed, at the end of the day, it only takes one, guys. It only takes one little embryo to implant to become your baby. Yes, one would think that when you have larger numbers that you have a better shot, but that's not always true. But sometimes our minds play tricks on us and tell us that that is the truth, but it's not. So if I can make a suggestion, please do me a favor and stop comparing your embryos and your retrieval numbers and your stim numbers and how many follicles you have, and if you have to use ICSI or not use ICSI. Stop comparing. Everybody is so different, and what is going to bring one person success is probably not going to bring the next person success. Yes, there could be similarities, but everybody's journey, everybody's body is different. So I really hope that that was helpful. And if there are any questions whatsoever, please feel free to send me a DM, send me an email, and ask for clarification. Anything that I ever say, I would always want you to double check with your doctor. I am not a medical professional. I am just someone who has a lot of experience through my own and experience with my clients, and having talked to a lot of different doctors. But ultimately, my goal is just to have you start the conversation that can get you someplace else. And that is why it is so helpful to have somebody who can help guide you in this way. I highly recommend that everybody has somebody that can help guide them, because there are so many choices and there are so many things that are being said that sometimes it's really hard to keep track of it all. So again, hope that was helpful. Drop me any questions that you have. Email me back. Send me a DM, whatever works for you. Now, I just quickly wanted to touch upon the questions that were asked in my post. And the first question was, of course, a 20-year-old has more eggs than a 40-year-old. Therefore, should the 40-year-old be worried? Okay, so I'm just going to put it to you straight. If you have it on your heart at any time to have a child, I would highly encourage you to preserve your fertility, whether that means harvesting eggs or getting to a child sooner in your family, whatever that means for you. Yes, I will tell you that, because classically, yes, a older woman may have some issues that a younger woman, will not. However, no guarantee about that, right? But we do know that as we get older, our fertility, begins to wane, and supposedly the quality of our eggs will not be the same as they were when you were in your 20s, right? Other circumstances and instances, can occur in your body that could cause reactions or things that will inhibit pregnancy or implantation or increase miscarriage. So yes, a 40-year-old woman's eggs is not the same as a 20-year-old woman's. But by no means does that even speak to the fact that a 40-year-old woman can have success with pregnancy, because I've seen it over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? We have a clubhouse group every 11:30 every Friday where we talk about pregnancy over 35, that advanced maternal age. Okay? So that's the first question. Second question, after 40, what is the quality of a woman's egg? I don't know what a quality of a woman's egg is after 40. I don't think anybody knows what the quality of a woman's egg is after 40. Every egg is going to be different. Were you doing things to help the quality of the egg 90 days before? Are you a heavy smoker? Are you drinking a lot? Are you not nourishing your body properly? There's so many things that go into that egg, right? Which conversely, so many things that can go into it to help that egg in so many situations. So again, back to, I don't know what an egg quality of a 40-year-old woman is, but if you're asking, can she get pregnant? 1,000%. 1,000%. There's nothing that is ever going to tell you that a 40-year-old woman cannot get pregnant with her 40-year-old eggs. Case in point, me, 42. So if I can do anything other than give hope, please definitely, again, reach out with questions about this advanced maternal age process. But I would encourage anybody that who has a calling on their heart to become a mother to take that calling and recognize that that's your body telling you that now is the time to do something about that, whether that's retrieving eggs, freezing embryos, whatever that is. So I truly hope that this was helpful. I've seen so much commenting and back and forth on egg quality and numbers and getting caught up in it that I really felt that it was important to come today and be that person for you and cheer you on and tell you a little bit and coach you a little bit about egg quality and what is and isn't true. And again, I encourage you to bring anything that you've heard here up with your doctor. You don't have to take my word for it, but just make sure that you understand that everybody is different, egg quality is different. There are things that can be done for it that can help it or make it worse. Okay? So happy Tuesday, everyone. Thank you for asking your questions, and I will see you again next week. Have a good one, guys.